know why, but that's the first time I've seen him crack a smile was when I called myself a fat pussy, and he's like, yes, you are. Oh, man, that's that whole generation. That's why I got to cut back on my drinking. I'm getting too old. I'm in my 30s, so I'm a millennial. You know, I can't add alcoholism to the rest of our diseases. We've all got diseases. We're proud of them. It's like, I'm so ADHD. I have so much depression. I have anxietism. You know, we got it all. And older generations, my grandfather thinks all that shit's made up. He's like, ain't nothing wrong with you. Lots of people like trains and get sad. Quit being a pussy, Trav. And I get it. I don't want to say that we're soft, but like, you know, he was a coal miner that got shot in the war. And I have an emotional support dog that I let kiss me on the mouth. So I don't like it when he tells me I'm soft, but he's right. And I'm not saying our diseases aren't real, but this is the first time we've started paying attention to them. Like when I was a kid, if my dad would have missed work to have an emotional mental health day, I would have been like, Mom, we have to call the doctor, something's wrong. Apparently you got pregnant from fucking a pussy. That's never happened before. We need to call the papers. So I can't have kids. I wouldn't know how to raise them. I don't even think you're allowed to spank them anymore. Is that something you can still do? You don't know? She's like, I don't know, but I'd beat the fuck out of if I could. My mom used to make me cut a switch. Has anyone ever done this? This archaic procedure? For those of you who don't know, basically my mom would give me a knife, and I'd have to go to a tree, and I'd cut off a small limb, and then I would bring it back to her, and she would use it to teach me a lesson. Like there was wisdom in those branches. And no matter how many lessons I learned, I never learned that I could have just kept the blade. Been like, oops, looks like you brought a switch to a knife fight, dumbass. No, Donna, I think you should go to your room. Not so tough now, are you, bitch? I got my last spanking too late in life. I was a senior in high school. We can agree that's too late, right? Basically, at that point, it's just an erotic fight between lovers, you know? I'm trying to pretend like it hurts, and my dad's trying to pretend like he's not out of breath. He's like... Did you learn your lesson? I'm like, yeah, cardio's important, huh, big guy? And we have terrible fucking genetics, dog. And those are the people who want me to have kids. My dad wants me to have a kid, which is crazy because the entire time I was growing up, the only advice he ever gave me was to never get a bitch pregnant. I mean, he didn't say it like that. You know, he was a Christian, so he had to be like, listen, son, it's a lot easier to pull out of your girlfriend than it is to pull out in a minivan. That's what you're going to be driving if you don't wrap it before you tap it. You know what I mean, baby bear? So not really, Dad. My grandma wants me to have a kid. She says if I don't use my seed soon, it's gonna spoil. I'm like, don't worry, I rotate the stock. I just don't use it. She doesn't understand, because that's what their generation did. They had kids. She had 7 kids. Her name is Eula May, which I think is short for Eula May be fucking right now, dude. 7 kids, do the math on that, and then you just have to think about your grandma throwing ass, hoping your papa was there to catch it. You better get there, Henry. 7 kids? She could have stopped at 3. That's a career. Retire the uterus. You hang it up. You don't stick in for 7 unless you just have love of the game, baby. You know how hard it is for me to admit that my grandmother is better at sex than I am? Sweet, sweet Eula May has the receipts to prove it, and I struggle with foreplay. I can feel y'all pulling back. You guys gonna leave me alone on this? I'm the only one that thinks it's weird whenever I'm rubbing my wife? Yeah, apparently. All right, you know what? I'm gonna remember that, guys. I don't know the technical term. In school, we learned it as heavy petting. That confused me more. I'm trying to touch genitals. Now I'm warning a kid at the zoo? It's like, no heavy petting, Randall. Better lighten up for you hurt that llama. This is weird, but the first time I ever got to third base with a girl, I out loud said, this is called heavy petting. And then I gave her a sugar cube, because she was a good girl. Anyways, whenever I'm finger blasting my wife, she was... she won't let me do her unless she's also doing me. So we kind of just cross arms in the bedroom, like we're about to give a joint suck it, D-Generation X style, you know? I call it a Kentucky handshake. It's very effective. You should try it, Meryl. Win some brownie points with your dad, you know? Oh, yeah. Make that tiger purr, you know what I'm saying? Show her who the Tiger King is, dude. Anyways, there we are, just jacking and jilling our way up the hill, trying to fetch a pail of water like two good Christians, helping each other out. Problem is, the closer she gets, the faster she goes, till she starts hitting a tempo that would make a jazz drummer sweat. Not comfortable for anybody. I don't know if you thought the way to cap off a hand job was with a friction burn. I don't recommend it. It's a lot like getting a hug from a mentally handicapped person. Yeah, it's uncomfortable, but you look like an asshole if you ask him to stop, so do the right thing and let him finish. So at the end of it, my dick just looks like a CrossFitter's palms. All covered in blisters for no good reason. I did 100 pull-ups today. It was a personal record. I got open sores on my dick, so same. It's hard doing sex. It's hard. I haven't figured out dirty talk either, because I sound like this. But then I don't like how hard you laughed at that, right? If you can take that back. You know, this is a problem. I want them to laugh, but just not at that. But yeah, like, I sound like this. I know. But then I get in the bedroom and I'm supposed to be hot. So it's like, yeah, you like that? What if she doesn't? You know, I don't really want to ask questions because I don't need to know the answers, you know? It's like, yeah, whose pussy is that? Ricky's? But my name is Wait, what? Okay. I can make statements, but I don't have a lot of faith in those. It's like, I'm giving it to you good. You like that. Of course I'm gonna make you come. None of that is true. These are what we call lies, folks. That's why my go-to move is to just quietly say what's happening as it's happening. Like a PGA golf announcer. He's lining up his shaft. He's got his eye on the hole. He just looks to take a nice, easy stroke. Oh, looks like we finished up early. And that concludes our coverage here at Pebble Beach. Back to you, Jim. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much.